Okay, good morning. Today is going to be a front-end day, and the last thing that we really have to do now is we're on the whole setup of like matching people, or one of the final things that's going to kind of tie the whole bag together is going to be to show the profile picture of the other user. And I want to be quite open and honest when I make these videos and say that there's definitely a little bit of like, yesterday I was thinking about this. There was a little bit of like self-doubt when I started thinking about like, well, how many days now have I spent trying to solve this issue and like basically starting out having something working and then spending the whole day kind of fucking that up, only to end up at the end of that day exactly in the same place almost where I started. And the self-doubt that kind of creeps in is like, am I just like super slow? Am I just crazy slow when trying to build this? Am I like getting absolutely nowhere? And would other people just be able to do this super fast? And is someone else gonna like surpass me when it comes to this idea because I'm so slow that even though I'm working on it like 4 days a week, I'm making so little progress that someone else that has a full-time job could make more progress on this app in like 2 hours every evening than I'm making 4 days a week, actually working on it, more dedicated, or for longer periods maybe. But I don't know, I think I'm trying not to get stuck on those sort of things and trying to, like, I don't know how fast I am. I don't know if I'm the slowest programmer out there. I don't know if I'm half decent. But I don't think it matters too much. I think the important thing is just to keep going, because I think the thing that will separate most people, like the thing that kind of separates people is just the consistency and just the ability to just continue. So I don't think I think I've talked about this maybe before, but like, I don't think the specific skill, like how good you are at something, at least not something like this, will necessarily be as important as consistency. Like, the person that just keeps going is gonna get there at some point. Me being that person that just keeps going and just doesn't stop, I'm gonna try just not to stop and not to let that sort of self-doubt creep in too much, because it's one of those things that will just stop you in your tracks, or stop me in my tracks at least, if I start to think too much about like, well, I'm just too slow at this and I'm not getting where I want to get fast enough. So someone else is going to build this and get there before me, and there will be no point in me even having worked on it, because it, even if someone else builds it faster than me, it doesn't actually mean that their app will be successful and that their app will get anywhere. At least I have the unfair advantage of having like an audience watching this, so there is the possibility that some of you guys will download it, and the other person that might be faster than me at building it might not have that. So they might be able to build it, may not be able to get it out to people. So there could be lots of different things. Like, there's so many variables that could go right or wrong, that getting stuck on the one variable, which is how specifically fast I am at building it, is maybe not the best thing to get stuck on right now. Because I don't think that, I mean, I think everyone runs into most of these issues that I've been running into. Some people might be way better at like seeing straight away, okay, this is the problem. I've run into this before. I've been working on apps similar to this before, so I know that this is where we need to change and this is what we need to do. And I might not have the experience or the capacity to do that, but yeah, I don't know. I'm trying not to let the self-doubt in. And I wanted to say or share this just because, like, I think it's important to share that there is definitely self-doubt. There's definitely that thought that can come in, but I just try to, like, let it come in and pass. Like, okay, there's the thought of, like, the self-doubt thing. It's okay. I know I like doing this and I have fun doing it and I'm very excited about building the app. So even if the self-doubts are true, it doesn't actually affect what I think I should do. Because like even if I'm the worst programmer in the world, does that actually change whether I want to continue? No, it doesn't really change it. So yeah, we're gonna continue. And today my goal is, and I don't want to have goals like this because the goal is just to spend X amount of time today, 3 hours, but I do have a goal. I have to be honest about that. I do have a goal, and the goal is I want to see a profile picture today because I haven't been able to see that lately. So I want to be able to see a profile picture, and then I'll be very happy with where we're at. So hopefully at the end of this video, we will have a happy cow that says that we can now see the profile picture. I think we have high chances of achieving this, but you really never know. Since yesterday I spent like 2 hours not being able to run the app and thinking that I needed to update the entire project, only to realize that, well, I pasted code into main.dart file, which means that you can't freaking run the app, obviously. So that's one way to spend your hours in the day. Okay, we did it. Finally, we get a profile picture here, and we get a profile picture here. We did it. Oh my god, that was slow. It turns out that I was using the wrong buckets, and since I've been like redeploying different versions of this app constantly because of dealing with bugs, I have like several buckets on the backend side. Not a good idea, but it means that it's very hard to figure out like which is the right bucket, and there are so many different places where you need to paste that in or write it in, which means that I was just using the wrong bucket, I think, for a bit here. Like there's other issues as well that we've been dealing with slowly, but one of the main ones has been that we've been trying to get profile pictures from the wrong bucket, which obviously will not work. So yeah, now we can see the profile picture. Now the next thing is the next thing is actually to make sure that we can, because right now I think the users have to log on pretty much at the exact same time to be able to be sorted into a call together. Because if I rerun this app, then it will be loading here, and then we wait for a little bit, like let's say that you wait for like 5 minutes or something, and then you run it on this device. They have not previously been sorted into a call together again, which is a problem. It's not an it's not it's kind of a hard thing because if two users have been in a call together previously, then they actually should be sorted together again. But in this case, we're trying to simulate two users that have actually never been in a call, and they just log on at different times. So one user maybe logs on them in the morning and is just waiting for someone else to log on so they can talk to someone. And then maybe someone else logs on like 30 minutes later. In that case, we want them to be sorted together, but right now it doesn't look like we do that. So I'm going to try to run the app now. It's been like maybe a minute or so, just to see if they get sorted together. But I don't think they will. And I'm not really sure why they don't, but... Oh, they did get sorted together. Now this is also strange because this device got sorted into the call, but the device on the computer doesn't get sorted into the call. So why is that? Five CC. Okay, so they are both sorted into the call, but this user doesn't receive the call for some reason. Okay, we're gonna have to sort that out later. Now I'm gonna go have some breakfast and then we'll come back. Okay, so we're not really getting anywhere at this point. I did achieve what I wanted, which is the profile picture showing up, but we still end up pretty much in the same place that we started with just this like loading, infinite loading screen. But what we're trying to solve now is the fact that it seemed like the matchmaking only worked on one end. Like I was able to do it if I ran this device first and then I ran the simulator on the computer, which meant that there was some sort of bug because when I tried to run it the other way, all of a sudden they wouldn't match. So there was some issue with the gender and gender preference of the users not being correctly matched. But then we also have another issue on top of that, which is the fact that if the users show up on different times, or like one user shows up now and then this user shows up later, then they don't get sorted into the same queue. So we need to have some sort of sorting system that makes sure that the latest request is the one that we look at, and that we at the same time, like we need to look at the latest request for each user, but we need to look at the oldest request for some sort of user list. So really, I think we need to have some sort of like queue system where we have like this user logged on first, so that user should be matched first, and then the second user that logged on should be matched after that. And at the same time, for each user, we need to make sure that if they do multiple requests to the database, that they don't get higher up in the queue. They should maintain their spot. It's a whole thing, I think, but I don't know if I'm making it too complicated or what I'm doing at this point, but it's frustrating because I feel like it's so close and I'm just not able to solve it today. And even though all I want to do is just continue and continue and continue until I've solved it, I know the best idea is to take a break and come back tomorrow. So we'll see you on Friday.